Peter Waxman, Middlesex's Head of Medical Services. Thanks ever so much for joining us. We're here at sunny Chelmsford today. Waxy, this will be the second of our regular monthly updates on injuries around the squad. Thanks for joining us. You've obviously had your hands full with Tom Helm of late. Great to see him back on the park.
Hi Fletch, I think it's the third, but obviously they didn't stick in your mind. But we've good news. We've got Tom Helm's back. He obviously played yesterday, so he's side strained with bowlers, as we mentioned last time, can hang around a bit, but he's back and good to go. So we'll get him back up to speed for the 4-day cricket as well, and so that's good news. Yeah.
Fantastic. So Helmy's back injury free. Obviously you've had work to do over the last period since we last caught up with Essex. Obviously he's back, leading us out in the blast now. On the downside, obviously I hear Ishan Kaushal is sidelined.
Yeah, obviously Esky back after his broken thumb, but now Ishan has broken his little finger actually, but he just stubbed it into the ground while he was fielding, playing club cricket, but it turned out to be a really nasty break. He broke it in 3 places. He had to have surgery, which took place a few days ago, and he's got to wear a cast for at least 2 weeks, and so we're looking at probably around a month, unfortunately, before he can play again, which is a real blow for him.
Absolutely, and I guess the biggest concern you've got at the moment is with Blake Cullen, who we announced obviously he was featuring in our blast squads, featuring early part of our championship campaign. Blake obviously has issues with his back. Can you perhaps enlighten us and expand upon that?
Yeah, Blake, as people may know, has been diagnosed with a stress reaction in his lumbar spine, so that's a stress reaction in the bone of his lumbar spine. A relatively common blight for cricket fast bowlers usually. So he'd been experiencing some pain in the last week or two, and it got to a point where we sent him for a scan, and it showed a stress reaction or a hot spot in his spine. Not a stress fracture, which is good, but it still has to be taken pretty seriously, and we are looking to rest him now for sort of 5 or 6 weeks off his feet, and then to bring him back gradually to bowling. So fingers crossed we'll have him back towards the end of August, but it's a nasty one for the bowlers and requires a bit of patience before they're good to go again.
I guess extremely difficult for Blake, because the absence obviously for most part of this season will obviously see him withdraw from the 100 as well, which is of course awful news for him.
Yeah, it's a big blow for him. He would have, I'm sure, featured in a lot of our cricket, and the 100 he's had to withdraw, but at least he's got that carrot that we can get him back towards the end of the season and hopefully feature for us again.
Absolutely. Just one more thing to ask you, Waxy. You mentioned obviously your conversations with Blake and him reporting to you that he's got some back injury. Is that probably the most important part of your job, aside of recuperating and getting players back on the park, is acknowledging the complaints that players have as you go along, recognising the potential risk, and actually getting players in front of a specialist to actually assess the depth of that injury? I
guess so, yeah. I mean, one of the advantages of being with the team the whole time, and obviously in my case having known them for many, many years, is that, and the fact that they spend a lot of time with me in the dressing room or on the bed, I get to know them, and hopefully I know their bodies as well as their minds. So we're pretty good at knowing when to progress things forwards and when to maybe just tell someone to get on with it. But that's the skill of the job, I suppose, and fingers crossed we get it right some of the time.
Absolutely. Waxy, thanks ever so much for your time. Really appreciate the update, and we'll have a catch up with you next month, and I'll assure you I won't forget that there'll be the 4th one.
Thanks. Cheers, Fletch. See you.